everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and today, honestly, I didn't entirely feel like getting in front of the camera. But I'm gonna force myself through it and hopefully after talking to you all, sort of, I may begin to feel a bit better. I'm sure we're all starting to feel very dissatisfied with the state of the world, and quite honestly, that really got to me today. Not helped by the fact that right now we are in a whiteout snow squall outside, which came up completely unexpectedly. I'll see if I can insert some footage of that here. And so I started to think about things that typically help me feel better during this time. And for me, rituals help me feel really grounded and really safe. So I thought today I would tell you about some of my bookish rituals, some of which are quite fun, others of which are quite calming and comforting. So firstly, pre-pandemic anyway, I brought a book with me everywhere. It took a long time to break that habit during the pandemic, and it felt weird for a very long time. And honestly, I still feel a little bit weird about it. But I used to bring a book everywhere because you never knew. What if you get stuck somewhere? What if you get bored? If I didn't have a book, I felt like there was an essential missing, like going out without my keys or my phone. And that's something that I had also done since I was a child, I realized. I always brought a fun reading book to school with me. Even if I had other books in my bag already that were assigned for English class, I always brought my fun book too, just in case. Another childhood tradition that we have kept going is our Christmas Eve read. I know lots of families read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas on Christmas Eve as kind of their family thing to welcome in Christmas Day. However, we never did that in my house, and starting around the time I was 7 or 8 years old, my mother bought me a beautiful illustrated copy of A Child's Christmas in Wales. It's packed away with our Christmas books right now, but I will insert a photo of it here. And so we started reading that as our Christmas Eve piece, as one of our Christmas Eve traditions. And I absolutely do not regret it. I think it is beautiful. It's a little bit more haunting, but it's absolutely perfect for us. Something that brings me comfort any time of year is Audible. Now that I've started using audiobooks, I've discovered that using them as a sleep aid is really, really comforting on nights when I just can't get out of my head. Of course, it has to be a story that I know already. I am very picky about narrators as well, which could just be a me thing. And I don't want it to be an action-adventure story, because that's just not calming. But for me, things like Pride and Prejudice or Sense and Sensibility, as read by Rosamund Pike, anything that Neil Gaiman narrates, but especially Norse mythology, is wonderful, because it feels like he's reading you a bedtime story. And indeed, any Georgette Heyer audiobooks, as read by Richard Armitage, are truly wonderful. Then, of course, one can't talk about rituals or traditions without talking about holidays. And there are a few holidays that I have particular bookish traditions for. The first originated around when I was in high school, where if there was a snow day called, my mother and I would try to watch all of the 95 Pride and Prejudice in one day. We never actually made it until I was about 24. Things kept happening every time there was a snow day. Someone would come to visit, there would be a power outage, but we finally did it. And of course, we've recently, since we haven't been able to see family over Christmas, we have started reading through Christmas Day, which has been wonderfully cozy and just perfectly suits us. So, as much as we miss our family, it's kind of a wonderful tradition to have. And my most recent ritual or tradition, which quite honestly inspired this video, was the fact that my dear friend Jonathan and I, in I believe 2020, decided that we should watch the Super Bowl, but neither of us really cared about the Super Bowl. So he came over for dinner to escape his family, and we had the Super Bowl going, but we read through it, looking up for, important bits, like, scores. Which is thoroughly un-American, but we ironically kind of reveled in that. And my final tradition, which is one I started at age 20, which I'm very pleased about because it was a nice round number and easy for me to calculate. I began recording all the books I've read in this lovely notebook, which was a birthday gift or a Christmas present, I can't remember which, from my dear friend Amanda just before I left for Spain. So close before I left that I opened it and then shoved it in my suitcase and left for the airport. So this has been on 2 continents with me, as well as everywhere that I have ever lived since. And I look forward to seeing how old I am when I finally fill the notebook and finally tot up how many books I have read in however many years have passed, which I think could be 20 or 30 years, given that I've only gotten that far, see where that little dent is, in 10 years. So not only was it given to me by a friend, but it provides a wonderful ritual that gives me something to look forward to in the future. So those are some of my bookish rituals and traditions. Let me know if you have similar ones for yourself or if you're thinking of starting any soon. I always love hearing from you in the comments, and indeed this video is meant to be a conversation, so please do leave me your thoughts. Until next time, be safe, be well, and happy reading. Bye everyone.